the front driver's side. So I did order the parts, Rock Auto. Bam, there we go. Let's see what we got. There's one part missing. No motor. I just ordered a motor on eBay. So I'll wait for that to come. Meanwhile, this motor has an intermittent coil on it. So we'll take this thing apart. First step in taking this apart, it tells you in the book, according to Haynes, to line up with these holes on top. And that did not work. So I'm starting. You have two screws that go to the slider. One there and one here. You see it? So according to the new one, that's all you have is two screws. And when you loosen, you slide out to the right. So take those two screws off, the glass should come out. If we don't take the glass out, we'll at least detach it while we remove the regulator. So what you're going to need for that is a 10 millimeter, which the book doesn't tell you either. 10 millimeter goes for the window regulator slider. 10 millimeter for all the motor regulator attachments. Bam. Wow, they're already loose. I'm going to try to lift this a little higher to get access to the second. Should be good to go. Meanwhile, we remove this brace right here. Should be a clip behind there. Gonna take that screw all out. Push it up, guide it out. Bam, that's into that. Put this back in so you don't lose it. Now we gotta get access to this one. Nope. Got no access. So let's see if there's another spot. And see what we got here. A box in a box. Sometimes when you get through your replacement, if they're made in a different country, sometimes the specs could be off, or the connections could be different, or they use different connectors. This one looks good. We have the gear What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-gear pulley. And electrical connection may be off. So what this came with was a adapter. This should adapt to the harness on the system here. We got a 2-prong, goes to a 2-prong. It doesn't mean the wires are right, so I'm gonna have to look at the instructions and see if they want me to swap wires or what, because it could be reversed. Other than that, it should be a direct replacement. Boom. Line them up. See what we got here. Here's a new one. Here's the factory. I believe this should be a Dodge Plymouth Chrysler part number on there. And we have the new replacement made in Korea. Now, feeling the quality as far as the heft on it. Yeah, the original piece has a little more heft to it. Feels a lot more solid, I'll be honest with you, compared to the new one. The new one feels a little more light. I'm not saying it's cheaper, but you can tell the parts used are definitely inferior. Do the ping test. Old one, or old original part one. New one. Hear that? This is like more of a thud. This is more of a tingy sound, hollow. And this, inferior parts. I guarantee if I tear this apart and side by side, this has inferior, cheaper parts. But that's what you get. That's why it's cheaper. Let's see. Yeah, it's thick. Ouch. Oh. Man, now you know I wear a hat. I just hit my head on the hood and shit. Now, here, look at the gears. You can see the original one on my left and the replacement one. I bet you any kind of money, the metal of the teeth of these gears is made of a different material. I guarantee that the older ones, they probably have more metal and iron purities in it than this new one. This new one's probably all cast. So they look like self-tapping screws. Yep, that's what I think these are, self-tapping screws. No nuts required. We got the dongle right here, our pigtail. Let's see what happens when we try to hook it up. Right now, I have a stick holding the window up. We have the controller separated from the armrest. We have the power window connection. And I think it goes on this way. So we're going to have to depress this structure here, like that, when we go to mount the assembly. Alright, we have the window connector hooked up. See if it operates. Okay. The motor don't work. We're back to square one. Oh yeah, there we go. Smooth operation. Down nice and even. Into position. Stay there. It's not going to be a small foot. Really, it's a two-person job, but we're going to start the screws to hold it in place. Start with the rear. This is, you're going to have to put this in a adjusted way. So you work the screws in first, get it to the right position, and then mount the regulator. So right now I'm just working screws in where I can get to them. Here we have these two in, the two back screws. We can't get these in yet. Lifting up. See the holes going in. Now you can push these in. Bring the window down. You can start some of the screws here. So, you know, it's just about adjustments. Adjusting to get the thing in position. And they help you out because they use some adjusting tabs and give you some movement. See, now I can lay that down. You have another mounting location here that brings this into position. So that right there. Bring this out. Slight problem here. Start one screw. Now we can put this screw in. We got the other one. This is the next one. Now, what we're gonna do is move this. Now it's free up movement for these screws. Now, see how much movement has been freed up? It enabled me to now push these slots into place. See if I get a light. With the new one, you're going to have a problem. You have to remove this to get the lower screw in. Leave everything loose to get this lower screw in. And don't put in this connector or you won't be able to get to the lower mounting screw. Now there's a tip for you. Or maybe you got a better way of doing it, so you won't need that tip. But anyway, there you go. Now we can connect the connector back. There she goes. I think that's it. Let's see if she works. See what we get. Now we just put all the insulation and the armrest back together on it. Called a support bracket that we took off earlier. Insulation back on, we need to adjust the door handle. When we put the skin on, we need to put the armrest screw in. Slide over the up and down lever. Install back electrical, oh crap. Install back electrical controller for the windows. Windows and power locks for everything else. We have the connections we took off earlier. It's been about 2 weeks, but what can I say, I've been busy, man. Yep, the speaker's inside. Boom. There we go. Gotta check that all the connectors are there, because the connectors are gonna have to slide through here. Got one there and one here to push on, or snap in. Then the routing of the module to hook back in here. The old car, so some plastic pieces may break off like here and there. Over time they become brittle because of heat. Right? And we have the connectors, so I just gotta orientate this. We have 3 other connections. They're idiot proof. Right there. Then power window. Power mirror, excuse me. Power side mirror. The latch connection, which is here. on there. Goes right here. So make sure you get the orientation right. Under the housing there. Route these cables so they're not touching anything. I believe this was wrapped around this. Keep them away from the screws, you should be alright. See where the line poles are. We have the window back together. We're gonna test out the functionality of it. See what we got. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. There you go. It's complete. Piece of cake. Window regulator, 1998 to 2005, Dodge Intrepid, complete.